Hey guys, welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. Today I borrowed this 2022 Honda Pilot from my friends at Holmes Honda here in Shreveport, Louisiana. And the changes for 2022, well, there's not a whole lot, but if you are looking for the LX or the EX trim level, I hate to tell you, but those are no longer available. Other than that, those are the only changes for the Pilot for this upcoming model year. The exterior color on this model is lunar silver and it has gray interior. The Honda Pilot is known for having a smooth and compliant ride on pretty much any road surface. A lot of interior space. It's roomy and comfortable as well. Some interesting little nooks and crannies for storage. Here on the front end, of course, you're going to have LED headlights, the daytime running lights, and down there on the lower portion of the bumper, you will see those LED fog lights, Honda sensing as well. I will list a partial list of those safety features on the screen. If you want to see the full list, make sure to check out the link to the Holmes Honda website. The 20-inch wheels are wrapped in all-season 245/50 tires. And even though it's not a very hard vehicle to get in and out of, you do have the step right there on each side, of course, to make getting in and out of the interior easier. You do have the heated power side view mirrors. They are manually folding. And of course, the question that I often get from so many people, well, it's answered right there. You do have the turn signal indicator built into the side view mirror and privacy glass as well for your rear seat passengers on the second and third rows, LED tail lights, and of course you're going to have that rear roof spoiler right there. If you've ever wondered, is that just for looks? It's actually not. That's actually meant to channel air over the rear window when you're driving to help keep this rear window clean, trying to keep from stuttering there. But just so you know what is there, and just so you know, this is not the all-wheel drive version, although all-wheel drive is available, but it is front-wheel drive in this case. And power comes from the 3.5-liter Honda V6, 280 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque. That is mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. It actually is more powerful than a lot of its competition. And just so you can see right here, there's a little bit of a glare here, but just to kind of show you what's here as far as your MPGs go with this model, you're going to have 20 city, 27 highway, 23 combined, and 4.3 gallons of gas should be burned per every 100 miles that you drive. You will find a hands-free tailgate here on the Pilot, and I guess Honda's had enough people that have kind of struggled to use this feature. I'm going to show you the ultimate trick for this, but you will find a sticker right here on the door itself that gives simple instructions on how this works. But here's the trick, and I know I've done this myself in the past. A lot of the time I would kick my foot under the bumper or swipe it or whichever, which you can do either one. Both work. But a lot of the time I think people expect it to happen quicker than it does, maybe just in the snap of a finger, so to speak. Just touch this area of the bumper down here. You can even, like I say, swipe your foot and watch. It's not instant. So here's the process. I'm just going to swipe my foot under there and see, it didn't happen instantly. So I think what happens with a lot of people is they expect it to happen quicker than it really does, but as you can see, it's really that simple. And in fact, I'll even do it this way. You can also just touch the bottom of the bumper right there with your foot like I did. So there's a couple of different ways that works, but I love the fact that the floor back here is a multitasker. So I'm going to change your view and we'll take a look at exactly what I mean. You do have the included mat back here. That's a plastic mat that basically helps to keep all of the carpet clean back here. You can fold that over if you want to, and here is the carpeted lid for your storage area back here. But like I said, that's a multitasker of sorts. If you have maybe something with some soil in it, some new plants that you bought that you need to take home, or something that has sand in it, dirt, whatever, this is how you would want to do things. You would want to use the plastic side of the floor right here, but that's not all. But as you can see, you can also bring the floor all the way down just like this, or you could just leave it out altogether if you want to. So kind of an ultimate multitasking area back here depending on your needs and or situation. There are multiple ways to open and or close this hands-free lift gate. I showed you a couple of those features. You can use the remote for that. There's also a button on the interior. And speaking of the remote, let's take a look at that real fast. Of course, you've got lock, unlock, you've got a panic button. Of course, you can raise and or close the lift gate. And something that I know a lot of you ask about, so I'm going to let you know that on the touring trim level, you do have remote start. And another button right there if you just want that option to close the lift gate as well. And our first look into the leather trimmed gray interior, and as you can see, you got some decent sized door bins right there, a couple of cup holders built into the door here, into the door panel armrest. And on the other side, you can see, I don't have it on this side, but on the other side, you can see the shade that is built in right there. And obviously maximizing your cargo space is easy to do. Right here, we're just going to let that down. I probably won't be able to get that up one-handed, but we'll see. But obviously that's part of that. I probably don't have to tell anybody that. Thankfully, that was a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be. And you have a couple of options for moving these seats forward. And basically, you've got one there and another one right here. That way, if the middle row seat passengers jump out and forget about the rear seat passengers, well, they still have a way out. And let's see how easily I can hop in here with the camera in my hand. Try not to have bad shots here. Now, you can move the seats forward, but I'd say the rear seat space here is probably better for the kids, but it is possible to maximize that space, obviously, if you want to. And just to kind of show a little bit around here, a couple of cup holders right there. Of course, air conditioning vents, quite a few actually in the rear seat area here. And obviously one of the big advantages to the touring trim level, you're going to have the ability for your rear seat passengers to enjoy movies and all that kind of good stuff. So obviously everything you need, including the HDMI cable and the remote, come with the vehicle to operate that. And there's not a pass-through here. As you can see, you've got the cup holders right there and a little bit of space, or quite a bit of space for storage. And you do have tri-zone climate control. As you can see, you got the dual air conditioning vents there on the rear of the console, and quite a bit of connectivity down there. All the controls for controlling the AC found there as well. And again, the one-handed challenge. Let's see here. I probably can't show you, but I can show you that you can move those seats forward a little bit. And as we work our way to the front seat, you're probably wondering about the price of this model. $45,145 is the price. And just to kind of give you a look around here at the front seat and what we have, just so you know what's here as far as the passenger side goes, that is a power seat, by the way. And a quick look here at the driver's side door. You do have seat memory for the driver, a couple of different settings there, as you can see. And if you want to see where the control is for opening the rear lift gate from the interior, and of course the gas door, that's where that is. You have Econ mode if you want to drive in Econ mode. And just a quick look around the interior. No changes, of course, for 2022. Very easy to use infotainment system here. And as you can see, when the headlights are on, you're going to have the ambient lighting in this model. Like I said, tri-zone climate control. You got dual here in the front. And something that we learned with the 2021 Honda Ridgeline is the fact that that knob right there is very important to Honda owners, because it came back with the 21 version of the Ridgeline, but it is still here with the Pilot. And just to give you a look at the rear view camera, that's very clear and very easy to see. Obviously a nice feature. You've got the lines and multiple views, of course, depending on what you want to see. And connectivity down here, of course, you've got the push button shifter, those illuminated cup holders right there, kind of showed that a little bit earlier. Heated seats only, you don't have ventilated seats, and there is the console right there. Open that up a little bit, you could fit quite a few Vehicle Visionary t-shirts inside of that console if you wanted to. The link is in the description of the video. All right, let's hop out on the road for a quick test drive. Like I said earlier in the video, you'll find that this Pilot is very comfortable. The seating is comfortable, and it's a great complement to the fact that the shocks and the suspension also provide a very smooth and enjoyable driving experience. Sometimes you'll find that in some vehicles you have one that's comfortable, such as the seating, but the shocks and the suspension maybe are a little bit more rigid, and so that does make a difference. But in this case, both are good and very compliant as far as the driving experience goes. And you have drive and you have sport. I did talk about the fact that there's also an econ mode. You also have a snow mode. And obviously, if you're going to be living in an area where you have a lot of snow and ice, I would highly recommend the all-wheel drive version. Even though I haven't had the opportunity to drive one of these Pilots in the snow, I have driven vehicles in the snow before that were all-wheel drive and was just pleasantly surprised at how well that experience went, because I did once have an experience of living in Colorado for a time with a two-wheel drive Ford F-150, and well, did okay. Had some snow tires on the back and a lot of weight in the bed, but there's no comparison to all-wheel drive in a situation like that. So overall, everything here, easy to use, easy to learn. I say this in all my videos because I know some of you out there are checking these videos out because you've never had a vehicle with all these modern features and amenities that vehicles such as the Pilot offer. Don't be afraid of that, especially if you're going to step into a Honda, because obviously it's very easy to learn and very easy to get used to. It's not that difficult. And hey, you're in the right place to learn about such things right here on YouTube. If there's a specific tutorial you want me to make on a vehicle such as this or any other, just leave a comment for me and let me know. So tell me down in the comments section, if you plan to buy a 2022 Honda Pilot, what trim level and what color do you plan to purchase? Gotta say a special thanks to my friends at Holmes Honda for loaning me this model for the day, and all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to check out another of the videos that is on the screen right now, and I will see you there.